very quickly when it's doing something right or when it's doing something wrong. You know, if people listened well to the voice in a society that's a little more advanced than this one, you don't need rules and regulations. Because there's natural rules, there's natural
order.
There's order. And you would follow the order. You would know.
As nature does.
Yeah, as nature does. You know? And so basically, listening is critical and understanding that it's mechanical. It's not esoteric, like in some pink cloud floating over there. It's not like some, you know, concept that's really complicated that you can't wrap your head around it. It's not.
It's physics.
It's physics. And you have it all inside of you. And you know it all. Like when I teach, I don't teach people, I teach you. I help them remember what they already know. This is why people that come to my conference and so on are so impacted. Like I get hundreds of letters of people from all around the world saying, oh my God, I'm so transformed. I can't believe I went to a conference on physics and I came out completely transformed. It's because it's not like I changed their life. I just had a relationship. I transferred and I give the information. They received information that reminded them, that brought up what's already inside them. So innovation comes from remembering, right?
Who you are.
Yeah. The deep relationship you have with the universe. Think of Einstein, think of Tesla, think of, you know, the greatest, like Schrödinger, others, like all these people, if they wrote extensively about how it came from within them. It didn't come from, yeah, they did some studying and all this to get to the place where they could tell where we were. But to make the next step, it's coming from inside you.
Right. Well, they're getting feedback and information from the outside, inside, and tinkering with whatever they're creating.
That's right.
From the inside. This is fascinating.
So it's a force.
Yeah.
It's you're a force of nature. And you have the potential, but you don't necessarily express it, right? You might not express it in your life if you don't know. You might just spend your whole life thinking that you're some little bug isolated from the rest of the universe and that you have no power. You have zero power. That's what is taught to children every day, right? In schools and institutions, is that all information comes from the outside, right? Like
learn this information, follow the rules. Yeah.
Shut up and listen. And that and because people ask, why there's not so many Einsteins? Well, they get killed in the womb, right? And then so you have that. Now, when you realize that, this is the point of enlightenment, okay? When the Buddha was asked, Buddha, you say everything is the Buddha, like we're not understanding, we're the student, clearly we're not the Buddha, you're the Buddha, we're the student, we're not at your level, you know, what's the difference between you and us? We want to know about the difference, not the fact that we're all Buddhas. And so the Buddha answered, said, well, the only difference is that the Buddha knows he's the Buddha. If you don't know that you're the universe, that the universe is in every one of your part, or that you're connected to this incredible will works of nature, that there's a flow that runs through your life that is completely transcend any obstacle that you would ever imagine, right? Well, then you can't be that, right? But But the quality of the Buddha is that as soon as the Buddha knows, or she or whoever, as soon as you know you're the Buddha, right? That you're the universe, is you realize that everything is, right? Everything is the Buddha, right? So then the ego doesn't get in the middle of it and go, I'm going to create, and, the rest of the people are going to have to submit, right?
Sure.
You understand? Like, now you get it. Sure, the person in front of you might not have that level of awareness yet, but you do. You can tell they have that potential.
Sure.
Right? And then in the context of all that, you have to remember you're going to fail. You got to remember you're going to fail. You're going to fail over and over and over again. Meaning you're going to get upset, you're going to get mad, you're going to scream, you're going to say the wrong thing to the wrong person, you're going to, whatever. You're going to do things that you're not in your highest flow to do.
Yes.
The only difference is that how long does it take you to get back into the flow? Right? How long does it take you to remember that they're the Buddha too, and that they're observing the universe from their own perspective,
right?
And that's part of the whole as well.
It's part of all of it.
It's part of all of it.
And accepting it.
Accepting it.
Not judging it.
Exactly. And even at the global level, when you look at everything that's going on right now in the world, it's really difficult, and it's really easy, especially if you're listening to 5 o'clock news, to get extremely discouraged.
Yes.
And as well influenced, not necessarily in the right way.
Right.
And so it's critical that you remember that it's all part of it. It's critical that you remember that there's a flow and it's going somewhere. And it's going to an amazing place. It's going to an amazing place. It's going to a place that it's hard to imagine right now. But a place where you have infinite amount of energy, infinite amount of capacity to move around, meaning you have gravity control, you have infinite amount of energy in all your devices, you have most likely extension of life to hundreds, thousands of years. You have a completely different civilization. Because when you understand these principles, then it's not that hard to connect your technology to it.
Nassim, this is amazing. I appreciate you sharing, and